Shalom, shalom, everyone. I hope everyone is well today. Just want to give another garden update. Stuff's really growing, and the garden's looking really good. And I wanted to take this time to share it with you all. So, without further ado, I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see. Hold on. Okay. All right, y'all. Here is the garden. Look at all that growth. Isn't it amazing? And what we're going to start with here are the peppers. These are red bell peppers, of course. And that's all I eat is red bell peppers. And so I want to show those off. And look at the tomato plants, because remember, both the peppers and these tomato plants were quite small, and look at the size of them now. 5 of these are San Marzano tomatoes, and let me see, I've seen a few of them. Here's, oh, sorry about that. Trying to show y'all one. Oh, there's 2. See, there's a couple there, and they grow in clusters. And this one here is the only one that's different, unintentionally so. This one is the Mr. Stripey, and I don't think I've seen, oh, I do. It's just a small one. Let me see if I can, just a tiny one right there. But other than that, I believe they're going to grow really big and really nice and all that other good stuff. This was my carding mill tree rose. It looks a little bare now, but that's okay. Where you see these little nubs here, I did a process called deadheading. And when you do that with roses, that means that the bloom is spent. And you want a deadhead so that way you can create new blooms. And I think right here is some new growth. So out of that is going to become a new bloom. There's a little bit of new growth right there as well. And as far as the holes are concerned, I just treated my rose bushes with neem oil. So hopefully that could put an end to the holes. From what I understand, I joined a rosarian group on Facebook, and I was told that it's a bug called a sawfly. So hopefully with the neem oil, it could solve that problem. Okay, over here is the Cherokee purple, and as you can see, here is here's a couple of tomatoes right there. So I'm going to get those nice big purple tomatoes, almost like brown or black. They're beautiful and delicious. Here's the serrano chilies, and as you can see, there are a few there. And I'm going to use those if I want something spicy. I'm going to make my fire cider in about a month or so. That's what that's for. And remember all the garlic I had in here? Well, okay, hold on. City life. Okay, remember I had all this garlic in here? Well, last week I harvested all. And it's in the house hanging and curing and drying right now. And what was left are the collard greens. Some of them look a little worse. Some of them were transplanted. I want to give these an opportunity because there is something called transplant shock. When you move a plant from one area to another, it goes to shock and it looks a little sad. So I have a couple of collard green plants in there. And here's some that are looking fairly well. Some of them are a little bitten, but that's okay. I just fed them up, and I added some neem oil, and I may add some diatomaceous earth on there. It keeps the bugs away. Anytime I do any type of pest control, I like to use organic methods to do so. So my hope is to get a nice batch of collard greens, Yeah. Okay, over here is the corn. And look how tall it is. It's nice and tall, but from what I understand, it's not exactly tall enough. So I want to feed these up really well so they get nice and tall and have a nice set of tassels on it. And get it to the point where I can get the silks, because I can grow corn plants this tall and they can look nice and healthy, but I can never ever get silks. I can never get the ears quite right, and I've always struggled with this. So, from what I understand and based on my research, if I make sure that they get plenty of food because from what I understand, corn is a heavy feeder. So if I feed it up right, keep it fed up, it'll grow tall. Eventually it'll get the stalk where you'll see the tassels, and then get nice healthy silks. And the tassels and the silks meet, and there's where your kernels come in, and hence your ears. So I am still trying to get corn. I am not giving up. Homegrown corn is absolutely delicious. And then next to the corn are my cucumbers. I think next year I'm going to invest in an actual trellis or a net to grow these, because I had to try to prop these up on these cages here because they were sprawling out into the rows here and into the next bed, and so I don't want that to happen. But it's looking really well, the cucumber plants, and I saw a number of blooms. And let me see if I can see, there's some flowers there, and eventually those flowers will become cucumbers. So I'm expecting to get some cucumbers really, really soon. Okay, and right here are all the green bean plants. I know they look sprawled everywhere, but I just watered them. I fed and watered them, so it's all good. They look nice and healthy. So I'm looking forward. As you can see right here, these are the little flowers. So with those, I expect to get some green beans soon. And with green beans, you constantly have to harvest. Otherwise, they will go to seed and stop producing. So I'm looking forward to having big gallon bagfuls of green beans. I know my mother's looking forward to it. I know my mother-in-law is looking forward to it. They both asked me for green beans, so I have to oblige. Okay, and here are my roses. That is one of the Poet's Wife tree roses, and you see all the nubs. Again, I deadheaded those, and then right there is a new bud, and then there's some new growth around there. Anytime you see the red flowers, not flowers, the leaves. Hello, thank you. Anytime you see these red leaves, that usually indicates new growth. I've read that in some cases it can indicate a certain disease, but I haven't seen any indication of that. But usually when you see those red leaves, that indicates new growth. So I deadheaded these, so I'm looking forward to getting some more blooms. And besides, it's the first year, so I'm not really expecting to get a whole bunch of blooms. I'm waiting for the subsequent years for that. And here's one of my that'll be new blooms. These are second year, so the blooms are more plentiful this year. Last year they were a little sporadic, but as the years go on, you should get more blooms and more growth. And then here is the Emily Bronte. I didn't get a... Okay, let's try this again. This is one of the Emily Brontes, and that's another Emily Bronte. And I didn't get too many blooms on this one. The ones I got, they didn't open up as well as I would like. I'm going to do more research on this and see what I can do about that. But I did deadhead that one, and fungus that can affect the other roses. Basically, okay, we're back. Basically, with black spot, the foliage gets these black spots on it, and that can cause the foliage to die, and in turn that can affect the blooms. So I cut it back. I treated it with copper and neem oil, and they look healthy now. I'm still trying to figure out a regimen on how to treat to make sure that they're healthy, because again, I want to use organic methods of pest control. You know, I've heard people will use spinosad and 7. Spinosad in some ways may be natural. 7, that is a no-no. That is straight up chemical. I am not using that. No disrespect to those who use it, but I'm not using it. Okay, and here's my other knockout rose, just like the other one. It looks a little worse for wear because a lot of the blooms are now spent. But as you can see right there, there's a lot of new growth. So new growth, and there's a bud there, so I'm expecting some new blooms to come up. And I'm expecting this to sprawl and get a little bigger. It's going to be beautiful. It is beautiful. It was beautiful early this spring, and so I can just imagine what it's going to look like. And as you can see in the front there are my lavender plants. Again, these started out as little plants, and look how much they've grown. Hopefully they get just a little bit bigger. That would be nice. And I like when you go out on the outside of the gate, how it just pierced through the gate. It's really cool. Hi, how you doing? And right here is my other poet's wife tree rose. As you can see on the top, you see those red leaves, which indicates the new growth. And then there's some more buds. These bloomed really nicely. And of course, I deadheaded all the spent roses, the spent blooms and whatnot, but it's looking really, really nice. All right, and this is the garden from the other side here. Everything is looking good. I'm happy. It's flipping cat. And that's it. I'm going to turn the camera back around. Hey, how you doing? I'm good. Shalom, shalom, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the tour of the garden. As you can see, there's a lot of growth, and I'm excited. I'm excited to finally enjoy the rewards of the harvest and the work that I put into this, and hopefully I can improve on the things that I need to improve on, so I can get better growth, more lush garden, a healthier garden. I didn't see much pollinators, and I'm thinking maybe it's because I have the way the ground is, but I'm not sure. I would like to put some more things in the garden in terms of plants, some more pollinator-friendly plants. As you saw, all that bare space in the rose garden area, I would like to cover that up. Put some flowers and herbs and stuff that complement roses, that work well with them, and as well as work well with the rest of the garden. Because in addition to beauty and in addition to food, I also want to create a pollinator-friendly garden. And it just works well when everything is symbiotic like that. Well, anyway, I just wanted to show off the garden and provide another update, and I hope that this inspires you. And even if you don't have the space I have, and I know people that got way bigger spaces than me, and it's all good, but whatever space you have is not an excuse not to grow anything. Even if it's in a 5-gallon bucket, you can grow something, a tomato plant, a pepper plant, lettuce. Well, I don't know about lettuce around this time because it's starting to get warm, but there's no excuse not to grow at least something. And if you have children, what better way to teach your children where food comes from than from planting something? And even if they may not like vegetables, if they grow it, chances are they'll eat it. Well, anyway, I am going to sign off, and I will talk to you all later. Shalom, shalom.